Northeast Tonight, brought to you by Oil India Limited, conquering newer horizons.
Hello and welcome to Notice Tonight, the show that decodes the region. Children whose names have not appeared in the National Register of Citizens (NRC) will not be sent to detention centers. Yes, the Supreme Court on the 6th of January issued this order saying children whose names have not appeared in the Assam NRC, although one or both their parents have made it to the list, will not be sent to detention centers. Now, viewers, this means that the NRC in Assam published on the 31st of August is very much a valid document, although the state BJP has rejected it, saying it is an incorrect list. The 19 lakh people whose names have not appeared in the NRC are required to move the foreigners' tribunals for a final verdict. But they can do so only if the NRC authorities issues them what is called a rejection slip. Till now, even after the expiry of the 120-day deadline, the NRC authorities have not started issuing rejection slips. What is going on? What will be the status of these 19 lakh people? All that prevails is confusion over the matter. To discuss the subject, I am joined by Assam Public Works President, Mr. Abhijit Sharma, political analyst, Mr. Swapnanil Barua. I am also joined by Dr. Chandan Sharma, professor at Tejpur University. He is joining me from Tejpur. And also in our studios, I have Rupam Goswami, Assam BJP spokesman. Advocate Syed Burhanur Rahman is joining me from Guwahati. And in the studios also, I have Arunav Goswami, assistant director at the Center for Development and Peace Studies, a Guwahati-based think tank. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. I'd like to go straight to you, Mr. Abhijit Sharma. Mr. Abhijit Sharma, you have been very, very closely associated with the entire NRC exercise right from the beginning. First of all, as an observer, then as someone who has moved the court to keep the entire NRC exercise on track. And your interventions in the Supreme Court has led the court to come up with a lot of very, very important and crucial directives and judgments. My question to you, the Assam BJP, the moment the NRC was published on the 31st of August, they have declared it, that they are saying that, Assam BJP has said that they are not going to accept it, they have rejected it because the NRC is an incorrect document. According to them, they say that it contains names of large number of illegal Bangladeshi migrants, whereas names of Indian nationals have been left out. So they have rejected it. Now the Supreme Court, according to the Supreme Court, it is very much a valid document because the Supreme Court's monitored exercise, they have never said that this is an invalid document. So there is a lot of confusion. So what do you have to say? What do you think?
No, not only BJP, on the very first day, 31st August 2019, as soon as the result came out, we being the petitioner, we have rejected the NRC. The number was very less, 19 lakhs. Out of 19 lakhs, 4 lakhs have not applied. Many of them are the indigenous people's name. Most of them are from the rest part of the country.
Right.
And a very less number, say 1 or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs would have been coming out as a illegal Bangladeshis or whatever it is. So on the that day only we rejected this NRC. We said that clearly, we stated that without a re-verification, this NRC has been published.
Right.
Court's order, 28 August 2018, court have ordered for a 10% sample re-verification.
No, Mr. Abhijit Sharma, sorry, I'll have to interrupt you. We'll go into all of that. My question now to start the debate, as an opening remark, Mr. Abhijit Sharma, I want to know, you have rejected the NRC as well.
Being a
you
petitioner, we have
Assam, being a petitioner, the Assam Public Works has rejected the NRC. But this has always been a Supreme Court monitored exercise, and according to the Supreme Court, it's a very much a valid document
Who told the Supreme Court monitored exercise?
Okay, you don't think so?
Why? Who is the representative from Supreme Court in Assam who is monitoring the whole process? It was a one-man show.
Then why did you not petition the Supreme Court all these last 5 years, asking for a monitor, asking for a representative? Why did you not monitor the representative?
Already we have filed an application through an affidavit on 10th October 2017 to give a monitoring committee headed by Ravi Shankar Brahma, sir.
Harishankar Brahma.
Harishankar Brahma. We have given the name of Harishankar Brahma, Kamal Nayan Chaudhary,
Okay.
then A.K. Afzal Ali Hazarika, then Dr. Ilyas Ali.
Okay, so that has not happened.
Our application was rejected.
Okay,
that time.
fine. But see, we cannot question the wisdom of the Supreme Court
We are
of India.
not questioning. Just we are saying that you are saying the Supreme Court is.
I am not the only person saying.
Everyone is saying
Yeah.
the Supreme Court is monitoring the whole process. Who is the representative
But
of Supreme
the
Court?
point is,
if Supreme Court is monitoring the whole process, then why lakhs of Bangladeshis?
Okay, I'll have to go to my other panelists, but before that, you see, Supreme Court has given a verdict, a judgment, one part of the judgment on this NRC only on the 6th of January, saying that children cannot be, although they don't have their names, cannot be sent to the detention centers. That means
that
means this is a valid document. This is a valid document according to the Supreme Court. They have not rejected it.
19 lakhs people's names are left out. Till now, no one knows what's going on in the NRC department, what is going on in the NRC office. No state coordinator has been appointed. The previous state coordinator, he ran away from Assam with a use of 300 crore scam, where the AG have given a report.
We'll come to that.
No, listen now. Now suddenly someone coming out to the Supreme Court and saying that these children may be thrown to the detention camp. On humanitarian grounds, Supreme Court have asked the government that you give a reply. What you are going to do?
Okay, that is your interpretation. But Mr. Syed Burhanur Rahman, the NRC, according to the Supreme Court, they have not rejected, they have not rubbished it. They are still giving comments and orders and directives based on the NRC which has been published. But the NRC authorities, nobody knows what's going on. That is true. I accept that part, what Mr. Vijit Sharma has said, because I also raised the question. 120 days, within 120 days, they were supposed to have issued the rejection slips so that these 99 people can move the tribunals to get a final verdict on their status. Now, what is going on? Why is the NRC authorities not issuing these rejection slips according to you? What is the problem?
Well, the whole chaos and the anarchy is because of the fact that we, as of now, till recent time, there was no state coordinator. Although Mr. Hitesh Dev Sharma was appointed, but his appointment itself has lots of controversy around. So therefore, in fact, on the last occasion, Supreme Court has questioned and issued notice to Mr. Dev Sharma regarding his controversial post in the Facebook and social media. So therefore, when it is a headless an organization which is working, so it's very difficult for them now to give out those slips.
Okay,
so it's a headless organization.
I'll come to you. So I'll come to you now. Before going to take a view of the BJP spokesman, Mr. Swapnanil Barua, NRC is such a huge exercise, and just because the head of the NRC is not there, just because it has remained a headless organization, who is responsible for that? And Supreme Court has set a 120 days deadline. It is not set by any XYZ. Now, the 120 days is over. So nobody knows, no rejection slips. When will the rejection slips be issued? When will the people be able to move the foreigners tribunals? Because I am not concerned about the illegal migrants. I am concerned about some of the genuine citizens, as the state BJP is saying. These genuine citizens have to move the tribunals and once and for all get their status settled. What do you think?
Well, Wasbir, the difficulty now here is because of the logistics of the issue. The head is a part. NRC organization having a head or not is a separate issue. But as far as my information goes, that the people who were appointed to head the tribunals have not joined their posts because the logistics that is required.
No, so that means, what does it reflect? Who is responsible?
No,
he has now joined.
I'm not talking about the NRC head, but I'm talking about the people who will be heading the tribunals to listen to those appeals after the rejection slips are issued. Because that is the next step.
So that is the next step. Who is responsible? Is it the government?
Wait, just a point. The important thing is that from the date of issue of the rejection slip to his filing of the appeal, there is a limited time available to the appellate. And if he does not have an organization whom to appeal to, where his case will be heard, this 120-day schedule is definitely not going to come into place.
Okay.
Now, some people have been appointed in
one thing in the middle. Can I say one thing?
Very quickly.
Yeah. See, we are always talking. We are talking about 120 days. this NRC is not accepted by the RGI and gazette notification is not issued right now. So why we are thinking about 120 days? Let government accept the NRC, let the gazette notification come from the RGI, and then we can think about the 120 days.
Okay, now Chandan Sharma.
Administratively, I think they'll be accepting it once the whole process is finalized.
So,
Okay.
So,
now, Chandan Sharma.
The 19 lakhs that are there.
Chandan Sharma, now,
nothing to worry.
buck stop. Where does the buck stop? Somebody has to take the responsibility. Now, Abhijit Sharma, being a petitioner, he's saying, what 120 days? This has not been accepted by the Registrar General of India. Gazette notification has not been issued. So what does it reflect? Does it reflect that because the ruling party in the state has rejected it, is it an indirect go slow or because the state government has rejected it? Is it that, or, how can a government exercise involving 1,500 crore of rupees, 5 long years, 50,000 government employees doing nothing for 5 years, only engaged in the preparation of the NRC? What is going on? What is this confusion all about? As an observer, what do you think, Chandan?
Well, I think, despite the anomalies in the implementation of the process of NRC, we have all, come to a view that, there have been anomalies and this is not something abnormal. It has been a huge process, a very complicated exercise, and that and a new exercise at that. But unfortunately, I think here the ruling party and the government has been speaking in in a language of ambivalence. On the one hand, they have taken the tried to take the credit of implementing NRC. On the other hand, they are also, in a sort of rubbish the NRC exercise. So therefore, I believe somehow government has not shown the kind of political will to implement the NRC and the direction of the Supreme Court. So this is, I think, kind of dilly-dallying tactics, and there is no doubt that here the buck stops with the government. And,
okay, I'll come back to you.
This government shows the required politics.
Okay, so Chandan, I'll come to you. Chandan has made two important points, that the buck has to stop with the government. That is the government which has to take the responsibility. Ambivalent stand of the government. Government is trying to dilly-dally. That is the charge which Chandan Sharma is making. I'll give you ample opportunity, Rupam Goswami, but few opening remarks from Arnav Goswami.
Here I just want to quote one thing about the legality of NRC. Last year, on 30th May 2019, the central government has amended the Foreigners Tribunal Order 1964, and this particular amendment deals only with Assam, where they are talking about the modalities of how the Foreigners Tribunal should deal with the appeals that has been filed by the people who have been left out of the NRC. Now, here there are two important points. This is a gazette notification.
Yeah.
Point number 15 and 16, I'll just speak out from the notification. Point number 15 is the final order of the tribunal shall contain his opinion on the matter whether the applicant is eligible for the inclusion in the NRC or not. That's point number 15 where they are directly speaking about the NRC.
Okay.
Point number 16, the final order of the tribunal containing its opinion shall be given within a period of 120 days from the date of production of the records. So these are the 120 days there. This is a central government notification, central government order. They have amended the Foreigners Tribunal Order 1964. And this itself.
So that means, in simple terms, Arnav, that there is an order which exists.
Yes.
120 days.
Yes.
So 120 days from when?
It says from the date of production of the records, means after a person files and the process starts.
So let him file.
So
that's what I'm saying.
So, but you cannot file without the rejection slips. But you cannot file without the rejection slips.
The RGI have to accept.
And then where you file is the question.
Yes, Rupam, please respond.
120 days is easy to say, but let the process start. After that 120 days.
Who will give the rejection slip?
NRC authorities.
But Supreme Court has not given the final, because even you have appealed to the Supreme Court. Even ASU appeal for a Niramoy. No? So everybody, people of Assam is not happy with the NRC. I don't know about Chandan Sharma. If he is happy with the NRC, I think government has no problem. But people of Assam is not happy with the NRC. That's why BJP has rejected this NRC. If Chandan Sharma is happy, I don't know.
See, we again, after the final NRC on 17 September 2019, we went Supreme Court. for 100% re-verification.
Even government has filed
Government have
petition,
filed a
for
petition.
20%
And,
re-verification.
we have given lots of anomalies how the Bangladeshis have succeeded to enter the name in the NRC. Fake documents were
Fake
being
document used.
Legacy trading was done. Everything we have.
Even Hazela said that legacy
and interesting,
trading was done.
I'm telling you, Supreme Court on last order, what he said? Supreme Court is said that all the IAs filed, Government
Okay.
of India and state have to give a reply. Let the reply come.
Yeah, but according to this particular notification, if you see, the NRC is still a legal document. It's
Absolutely,
not,
absolutely.
is
No
saying
doubt, no
NRC.
doubt
It's a
about
legal
it.
document. Who is saying it's not
Only
legal?
that we
the
have
same.
no one is happy with the
No one is
result.
happy, and we have not received any gazette notification from RGI that RGI have accepted this NRC. And the one more thing you have to
Well,
clear.
I think the NRC is
Let it
done
be
by
clear.
the RGI only, so what
No,
different
they have to
notification?
accept. Court have to give it to the RGI. RGI will
is
send
a
it to the
formal-
political B department.
But that is just a formality.
Just a mere formality. Because
What? Let them do now. That is also have not been done.
No, because
Now see one more thing. Let me clear one more thing again.
Now,
Let me
now,
clear one more
now,
thing again.
now, Abhijit Sharma,
On
I have a
13
specific.
August
Yeah.
2019, previous Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi in its order clearly said on the 18 number that this NRC will be completed only after the two judgments
cases
of
of,
562/2012 and 315. No, you can't throw that.
Okay, no, Abhijit
Which is
Sharma,
pending in
you
the
see,
Constitution,
when I
let
use
this
the
two
word,
case come.
when I use the
Again,
word, just a
that
minute,
will allow a
Abhijit
certain-
Sharma, you are one of the petitioners.
Let
When
this to
when
come.
you are one of the petitioners, when I asked the question, when I said that it's a Supreme Court monitored exercise, monitored, you had a problem because, where did the Supreme Court monitor? Suppose I ask you, it was a Supreme Court guided exercise because it was the Supreme Court which prepared the modalities and so on and so forth.
I
They
am
fixed the
not
cutoff
against
date.
that. I am saying there is no one,
Amicus
no
curiae.
representative from Supreme Court. I am telling you.
Why did you,
The
when
guy
did
who
you,
worked, he
can you
reported.
once again tell my viewers when did you move the Supreme Court asking for a monitor to be appointed? Which was the date? You filed a petition, you
Yes,
suggested the names.
in October 2017 we have filed.
October
I have
2017.
given 10 members' name we have given.
So when there was no action from October 2017, why did you not move the Supreme Court? Or why did you
we went to
not
Supreme
again?
Court only. Supreme Court.
No,
threw
why
our
did you not
application.
move? Why did you not, once again tell the Supreme Court?
Why? From 24 August 2018 to 1st August 19, 8 affidavits we have filed.
But Wasbir, whatever we say or
affidavit
not,
we have filed.
all applications have been given to the Supreme
Supreme Court. Supreme
and
Court
the
rejects the
Supreme Court
application.
has not given credence to those applications.
So what to
means
do now?
that the Supreme Court was quite happy
Okay,
with the way
let me take this to
NRC
let
was
me
being
let me take a Burhan. A petitioner has moved us. It's supposed to be a Supreme Court guided or Supreme Court monitored exercise, but the grievance, the resentment here is that Supreme Court never appointed anybody to monitor the process on the ground. So although one of the petitioners have mentioned certain names, so it could have been from among those names, it could have been somebody else, that's a different matter, but there was nobody appointed. So this is the grievance. But what was the redressal mechanism? Are we supposed to just file an application and do nothing about it unless the court replies, or can we, what was the mechanism to mount pressure? What is the point in talking about it now?
Yes, as far as the Supreme Court monitored modalities and all these things are concerned, as an aggrieved person, it is within the right of any party to approach the Honorable Supreme Court.
Right.
And Honorable Supreme Court, in its wisdom, will take a call on this.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
therefore, if somebody takes a call, Honorable Supreme Court takes a call that okay, this particular petition or IA is very important, we will take it instantly. That's a different thing. And if Honorable Supreme Court says that no, this particular petition is a frivolous in nature, then we will not take up this issue. So we cannot say that Supreme Court is kind of biased towards a particular party or is biased towards some other party. We cannot take all this plea. Now, it's a continuous process that the Supreme Court has continuously monitored it. The whole modalities are also followed. And thereafter, we are today, as of now, we are having a particular document where, of course, 19 lakhs people are excluded. But we have forgotten one important thing, that 19 lakhs people are not said or regarded as a foreigner. They have
Yes.
got all the rights to appeal before the foreigners tribunal. But all these things is to be, it's a continuous process. So therefore, foreigners tribunal members are to be appointed and they have to work and all.
No,
these
but
infrastructures, etc. are to be given.
Burhan, I'm coming to you, Chandan Sharma, in a minute. But Burhan, does the government or does the authorities have any right to indefinitely keep these 19 lakh people in abeyance, because as you said, all of them are not foreigners. I also said that right in the saying. State government is also saying that. BJP is also saying that. All of these people, 19 lakh, are not foreigners. But do we have, what is the justification in keeping a set of people hanging in the balance for so long? It has to be disposed of as soon as possible.
Exactly. It has to be done in a time-bound manner, because we have to appreciate this fact that for the first time in this country, Assam has undergone this process. There may be some anomalies here and there, but we have got a mechanism to rectify it. There are applications for re-verification. 20% re-verification application is filed by the state of Assam. Then Supreme Court will consider it, and if it is found that it is appropriate, they might give the re-verification, because this is coming up in next one or two occasions. They might consider all these things. But saying that, you know, the whole process is worthless, and saying that it's a meaningless exercise, we will redo it all over India, and including in Assam, Honorable Home Minister few days back, in fact, was saying that they will redo the whole process. I think, in my humble opinion,
Prime Minister
that is
has
wrong,
denied
because
that. But the Prime Minister has said there will be
That's right. That's right. The Prime Minister has denied that. But when the huge nationwide protest has erupted, then they realized that it can be a miscalculated bullet fired by them.
Now, Chandan Sharma, hold your thoughts. But Chandan Sharma, how good or bad is this confusion, prevailing confusion on as serious a matter as somebody's nationality?
Of course, I mean, this is not not a good situation at all, and I think, as I said, you know, international laws, etc., all are there, and you know, there has been a lot of questions. Can we put the whole question in abeyance for indefinitely? And having said that, I would like to also emphasize that, you know, it's not a question of my happiness or unhappiness about an NRC. And as I said, people have a lot of dissatisfaction about the, you know, the whole process of NRC in Assam. But at the end of the day, it is a legal document. It happened under the monitor of the Supreme Court. The whole exercise took place under the monitor of the Supreme Court. So we know that there may be anomalies. There are perhaps anomalies. But have we undertaken the process to rectify these?
That the Supreme Court will decide.
The process has not.
No.
But on the government side also.
What government will do?
I mean, have we taken enough initiative?
Yes, government has taken
have we taken
initiative.
Have we taken?
Mr. Sandan Sharma, government.
That is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, complete. Please complete. Rupam will respond. Yeah. No. What I'm saying is that there has been these issues about appointment of the coordinator, then, you know, the tribunals, so on and so forth. I mean, these matters perhaps should have been taken up in war footing, but that has not happened. And rectifications, we must find ways of rectification. Actually, there are many theories and thoughts about why NRC, I mean, the kind of figure that we have finally found, why that has happened. But I'm not going into that. But that needs to be also addressed. I'm not saying that need not be addressed at all. I'm coming to
but
you,
the
Abhijit
process has to
Sharma.
start.
Rupam Goswami, please respond.
Can I make a point here?
Yes.
Is that, you know, the government, I think, has acted very promptly, because I know of 200 people being already appointed in the tribunals.
But that has been done by the Guwahati High Court.
That has been done by the Guwahati High Court, because the Guwahati High Court, it's a quasi-judicial proceeding, so the proceedings have to go through the High Court. But the difficulty is that I think the government is facing the same dilemma as it happens to doctors posted in villages. Government have issued appointment letters, but normally these people have not taken up the posting. So what does the government do in that case? It's a very difficult choice for the government to you have appointed them, but to get them to
Goswami, you were trying to say
their
something
satisfaction.
to Chandan Sharma. Yes.
I'm trying to say that government is very serious about this. From the very beginning, Honorable Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal, he visited the NRC. And government, both the central government and the state government, they have given sufficient support from monetary point of view, from employment point of view, from all the angles. We are very serious. But the people of Assam is not happy with the NRC the way it happens, because we are expecting a large number. In fact, because there are lots of like trading of legacy data, then dubious documents, and lots of things. That's why in the border districts of Bangladesh, and they have a very nominal exclusion from the NRC. But whereas in the main, like Karbi Along and other districts, they have large number of exclusion from the NRC. So this is automatically indicated somewhere something wrong is done. So government has asked the Supreme Court for 20% re-verification, because
so we'll have to wait and watch how the Supreme Court responds. Abhijit Sharma.
There are two parts to the whole issue. In that see, one is the 19 lakhs people who have already been left out of the NRC has to be dealt. Their cases has to be dealt expeditiously. And all those people who are already in, but we feel, or there is a general apprehension that all people who are in should not have been there, is a separate exercise.
Absolutely.
Which I think, again, the government has to have a different mechanism to track those people down who have made it illegally into the NRC.
So that is a process which the government has to do as to what level of corruption, what level of people have done these manipulations, etc. That has to be decided. We'll come to that. But Abhijit Sharma, you know, senior Assam government leaders, including Mr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, has said that although we have rejected, but now if the Supreme Court upholds, if the Supreme Court goes ahead with this NRC exercise, then, and if the Supreme Court agrees to this re-verification and tries to correct what has gone wrong, what they are saying has gone wrong, I think that the state government has no problem in accepting the present NRC. Even that is, what is your stand on this?
In our affidavit, we have clearly written that the 27% re-verification ban done by the state coordinator, previous state coordinator, in his affidavit on 18 July 2019.
Yeah.
He have misguided the Supreme Court, first of all. So we are demanding for 100% re-verification of the whole NRC with a judicial committee, appointed committee, first.
100% re-verification means it's almost like redoing the NRC.
No. We are saying for the 22 districts. No need of touching the OI. No need of touching the indigenous original. No need of touching that. No need of touch. 1 point something is there. The rest part of the 22 district we need no need of touching Sibsagar.
So that is
no need of touching Sibsagar. No need of touching Dibrugarh. No need Dibrugarh, no Tinsukia.
Dhemaji maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So you have to touch Dhubri, Goalpura, Bongaigaon, Nalbari, Golaghat, Kamrup, Hussain, Karimganj, Hailakandi, Kachar.
So that is a prayer before the Supreme Court.
No, first.
That is a prayer pending before the Supreme Court.
Second is 2 years before we were contempt because of the press conference about the Wipro and the corruption done by Wipro and the then state coordinator. So the AG have given a report of 712.81 crore. Out of that, 150 crore misappropriation of the money. So we are saying that as CBI inquiry. Or ED inquiry.
Okay, that you have already made your position clear earlier.
So these are the things. So we are saying that first, and the most important thing I have to tell you, on the 18 number order of 13 August 2019, there are 2 cases pending in the Constitution bench. First, you give an order of that Constitution order. Till then you stop the process.
All right. So the court, the matter largely is with the Supreme Court. We'll have to wait and watch how it goes.
So
but at this point, I'll have to go
on 21st of January, the matter is coming.
It's coming on the 21st of January. The Supreme Court is going to hear some of these cases, and let's see what happens then. We'll go for a short break. Don't go away, viewers. I'll be right back after this very short commercial. Welcome back. Chandan Sharma, basically, this is an issue relating to citizenship. Every illegal migrant name has to get out of that NRC and they have to leave the state. That is a different issue. But I am more particularly concerned about genuine Indian citizens who have been, left out, or whose names have been left out of the, 19 lakhs issue. Now, the question is, yes, the NRC also, we also cannot forget the fact that there are names of illegal Bangladeshis who have gotten into the NRC. So that is a different subject. But now I am talking about this 19 lakh people, which also contains lots of Indian nationals. For example, people, I am asking this question after you to Swapnil Baru as well. North Kacha Hills, Karbi Anglong, some of the ethnic community dominated areas in the state, there have been a lot of people have been excluded. So that means it clearly means that there has been something terribly wrong the way the NRC process ultimately was carried out.
So that's the view of many people, especially the indigenous people of the state, and therefore there has been this dissatisfaction, resentment about the total figure. But I do not know where the anomalies, where the process has gone wrong. But yes, there are many theories. But that is why, I mean, there has to be some effort at rectifying where we have the whole process has gone wrong, and therefore it can be a continuous process. But I feel that rubbishing the whole exercise at this moment will not be very good idea. Maybe it may provide us a starting point somewhere. But yes, many indigenous communities' names have been also left out from the final NRC.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Rupam.
No, let him finish. Sandan, you finished?
Yes. Finish.
Yeah.
You carry on with your response.
Sir, see, look.
Yeah. You can continue. Yeah.
It's a matter of citizenship. All the way from since 1979, Assam is fighting for this. Our whole youth has spent on this issue only. So, even after doing a lots of hard work for this NRC, everyone is speaking about that. And it is in fact because there are three legacies, One legacy is from your 1951 NRC. One people have three legacies. One from 1951, then another from 67 electoral roll, again 71 electoral roll. What they have done, they have used one and rest two they trade. They sold it to others.
Yeah, trading is the most important.
Yeah, so these are the ways how excuse me, just 2 minutes. So these are the way how they came in. So it is very important. So actually we should not be so hurried. And in fact, those who are left, the 19 lakhs, they were not being harassed from any way. Nothing, their status remains same as it is before having the NRC.
But one thing I would like to point out is that, see, if an indigenous person gets left out, I think it's a very insult to him.
Sir.
So my thing is that the government has to do two things. One is that for the indigenous people who have been left out, you find out, make out your case and go and for an SLP to the Supreme Court and say that these are indigenous people, we have listed them, they have got all records,
Sir,
everything
no
is
Indians
intact.
will be thrown out. That is very sure.
That's not a
no
question
Indians will be thrown out.
See,
But
Rupam,
we are not talking about
I'm
foreigners who are in.
No, I'll just
we are not talking about.
I'll just come to your point that these people first have to be by an SLP made into citizens without having to go through the legal process. And secondly, the government must immediately activate its border organization to find out those people whom it suspects to have entered into the NRC by fraudulent means. Because this exercise is very important. If you have to wait for Supreme Court directives, there is no bar on the Supreme Court telling that you cannot inquire into any citizen who's doubtful.
Let me.
I think that border organization can do. Administratively, there is no bar.
Yes.
And legally also, I feel there is no bar.
I'm coming to you, Burhan. Yes or no?
I'll just add to what he's saying. You see, NRC was mainly a document-driven process. The main theme of NRC was presenting documents. So that's the very reason why original inhabitants, mostly tribals who didn't have any documents, couldn't make it to the NRC.
You're saying it's a document, it was a document-driven process. Everything was based on documents.
And many illegal migrants who had produced fake documents has got into the NRC. So now, when we are talking about a revised NRC, revision of this 27% or say 100%, now whatever is the modalities, now modalities should be such that it's not solely based on documents. So a separate set of modalities have to be built if there is a revision.
I think that's a very interesting comment. Let me take this to Burhan. Burhan, the Arunov is saying that, you know, the entire NRC was a document-driven process, whereas some of the illegal migrants had better access to documents which could be fake. Genuine nationals, particularly the original inhabitant ethnic groups in North Kachar, Karbi Anglong, Dhemaji and others, they may not have documents, so they were left out. So if the Supreme Court are to accept the plea, whether it is 27%, whether it is 20%, whether it is even 100%, do you think they have to come up with different modalities where document is not the only option? They have to look into certain other things, like origins and sons of the soil theory.
See, as far as this particular point is concerned, the provision is already there in the 2003 rule. The very concept of the original inhabitant, through that route, a person can, of course, that person can be included in the NRC list. And only two criteria are to be fulfilled as per that provision. One is to the satisfaction of the NRC, that authority, and beyond reasonable doubt. These are the two categories. Otherwise, a person, if they fulfill that, if he or she fulfills that particular criteria, then without producing any document, that person can be included in the NRC by way of that route of original inhabitants. So that route is already there. Now, as far as the re-verification part is concerned, re-verification part, of course, is pending now. If Honorable Supreme Court says something, they might, of course, give some modalities to that extent, how to do the re-verification. All these things are actually based on a very hypothetical scenario. As of now, it's not very clear whether whether the Honorable Supreme Court will give any go-ahead to that re-verification, maybe 20%, 30%, I don't know. But 100% re-verification in, I believe that it is something which is very unlikely that Honorable Supreme Court would give, because this is virtually, doing the whole, or redoing, in fact, the whole NRC process. So therefore, maybe 20–30% they might, Honorable Supreme Court may consider.
All right. Abhijit Sharma will respond. Yes, Abhijit.
See, 4 October 2018, Hajela in his report on point number 2, page number 229, he have written that software used for the data entry could not detect misuse of legacy data code of same person for 3 different years, 1951, 1966 and 1977. Already legacy trading has been done.
No, that's what Hajela
and
said
that's why
in the
we are
Supreme
saying
Court.
that we want 100% re-verification.
No, that's all right.
One more thing I have to, let me clear one thing. And we are saying that all those titles who is only in Assam, you will never find that title in any part of the country or the world. These names
like
should be
Setia,
Gogoi, Rabha, Misi, Boro, Cholia.
Yeah.
These names should be directly entered in the NRC.
Wasbir, can I raise a point
Yes,
here? You know,
yes.
this document exercise, I had the privilege of dealing with the land acquisition of Bogeyville. Now, this was in the North Bank. This was entirely a tribal populated area of Mishing people. Now, none of them had pattas, and so we couldn't give them land acquisition compensation. But a way had to be found out as to how to give them their money. So we sat down with the people and said that this is the total area of the village we know. Please tell us who owns how much of land. We got a public hearing done, and they certified that these people are genuinely of our village. His holding is so much. So accordingly, we accepted that thing, and it was accepted by the government subsequently to hand out.
That's how that was the.
There is always a solution, what I'm saying.
Absolutely. There's always a solution. Yes.
So far as the OI people are concerned, I think they should immediately be taken out from this suspect list and put into the NRC directly.
Already 40% problem will be solved.
Okay, my question to you, Abhijit Sharma. Now, the point which Arunov raised, suppose, assume that the Supreme Court tomorrow accepts your prayer that there should be 100% re-verification in these 22 districts. Fine. are you going to go it with the same modalities that you did in the earlier NRC? Or have you suggested a modality?
Now-
And if so, what is it?
Now see, the first of all,
What is your modality?
First of all, you have to remove the panchayat documents first. Second, the ration cards. All these things you have to remove. We are saying all those documents, driving license, bank passport.
There were 15 documents,
yeah,
isn't
15 documents. You have to cancel 2 or 3 documents.
Okay.
Ration card,
But-
panchayat documents.
But
See, now-
but some document has to be there. But Arnav is saying some of the, as Mr. Swapnil Barua had just said,
Let me
some of the
complete it now.
indigenous
Let
groups
me
do not
complete.
have
Let
any
me complete.
documents.
Let me
Yes,
complete
complete,
now.
complete.
Now the thing is that we are saying that remove the OI, then check any Gogoi, Rava missing, those titles, who is available only in Assam. For that you can go to the Sarath Fukan's book, Surnames of Assam. There is a book we have already given to the Supreme Court, Surnames of Assam, written by Sarath Fukan, Mr. Sarath Fukan. That book is there. So it's a very easiest process to solve this problem, and after that you will see 30 to 40% left out. You can shut them out very easily.
Is it true? I have heard that many foreigners have inducted in the NRC in OI category. Is it
in
true?
Somalia and all there are some
I have heard like that.
because
Okay,
now
that-
see,
So again, I think that what I was asserting is that the border organization of the government in the police should immediately be set into action to find out these suspected foreigners who have made it to
Yes,
the NRC. This
yes,
exercise
yes.
looks no delay and it should start
so
immediately.
Chandan
take
Sharma,
time, sir. It will
Chandan
take
Sharma,
I think it's easy. It is not easy.
Course
yes,
of
sir.
people.
No, let me-
No,
let
you-
lakhs of
you-
people.
you
It's not
take-
easy.
take
it's
as a
almost
test
80
case.
lakhs. 80
Let
lakhs.
me-
Yesterday I have proved. Yesterday I have proved
You begin and
in a TV channel
and I
that it
think
is
the
proved that
politi-
80 lakhs have entered
No,
the name
because
in
one
NRC.
thing is there. Once
Okay,
the political will is there, the
we
administrative
actually
organization will find
unless
out.
the state government tells us at the end of the day, or the registrar general tells us, there will be always questions raised as to how you have got this figure. So the point is, Chandan Sharma, the son of the soil theory. As we know that the entire NRC was based on XYZ documents. 15 documents were accepted. That was listed out and accepted. And some of these documents were quite easy to get. So there was no problem. Somebody who wants to be unscrupulous can always have access to documents than people who are straight. So this was the problem. Now, do you think the government also, this time if they have to go for re-verification, should come up with a different set of modalities, not necessarily document driven?
Yeah, a number of suggestions have been put forth here in the discussion, and especially, making the government's own organization active in the border areas, for example. And then taking out the OI people, original inhabitants from who were left out from the NRC, but there are still a large number of people, and we have got to know that, I mean, this has been discussed, that lakhs of people have not even applied in NRC. So that is also one big issue. But at the same time, even if you take out the indigenous communities, there will be still a large number of people. What about them? Although the government is talking about the Ka, I do not know what will be the fate of Ka. For example, we have a hearing on 21st in the Supreme Court, and there has been a big movement here going on. So what about that? Because these questions also cannot be ignored. So because we all know NRC, the whole exercise was not only a process of inclusion but also exclusion, which rest of the country may not understand. But here, the whole exercise, the organizations in Assam, they have been fighting for deportation of foreigners.
Yeah.
So what will happen to that in the final analysis? That is what we will be looking with a lot of interest now, what the government will do.
Okay, I am now running short of time. Swapnil Barua, how would you like to see the road ahead, things panning out? What are your thoughts?
I think first and foremost, I would request the government to really step up the setting up of the organization, the tribunals, the teething problems which they are facing needs to be attended to. It will call for a certain change of modalities. I think there have been, I'm quite sure of the competency of our people to find solutions to the problems that they are facing now. but the organization has to be put in place because that is linked to the final disposal of the exclusion list. And so far as the falsely included ones, I again go back to my point, is that some mechanism and the existing organization must be put into place and working irrespective of what the Supreme Court says or doesn't say, because the Supreme Court definitely cannot say that you include an irregular person into the list. I mean, that is again violation of the Constitution itself.
Absolutely.
So that has to be really addressed.
Arnav?
So I have just like to say, as I already said, this NRC is a legal document. It has to be seen as a base document which can be further revised. And when you go for revisions, look at the process which is not completely driven only on documents. And we have to remember one thing, let there be foreigners in the state, there should not be any Indian who is declared as foreigner. That's more important than expelling the already existing.
No, I totally disagree with him. There should not be any foreigner in the list.
No, I'm saying...
At the same time, no Indian should be left out. But how can you say there must be...
No, I'm saying the first
how
priority.
can you say that?
I'm talking about the priority.
Either or no.
Talking about the priority.
I'm talking about the priority.
Look, this is not a tamasa, you know.
Yeah.
Citizenship is not a tamasa.
No,
you give a citizenship to a foreigner.
You will show
I
a
am saying
ration
we have been
card.
fighting
You will
so
show a
many
ration
years.
card,
I'm talking
a
about
panchayat
the
documents,
priority.
and you will enter your
I'm
name
talking
in the
about the
NRC.
What priority?
First priority
no
should
priority. It's equally important for both.
It's a left-hand, right-hand
Yeah,
case.
it's not about priority, which is priority 1 and which is priority 2. It is equally important not to left out any Indians and not to include any foreigners.
That's what I
That
was
is the
saying.
ideal. That is the
No,
ideal
you didn't
situation.
say.
That
you
is what.
said that
Okay.
even if there is a foreigner included, no issues, but no Indians should be left out. You said like that.
I was okay. Let's.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
not go into that. That is not the focus. Focus is a correct NRC. Now let's go to Burhanur Rahman. Burhan, what are your thoughts at the end?
Well, I believe that in Assam, this is for the first time an NRC updation process is going on. Everyone should appreciate this aspect and appreciate this thing that in a positive manner. And whatever anomalies are there are already checks and balance available. I think we should go through that route. We can file the IAs, etc. before the Honorable Supreme Court, and Supreme Court will take a call on this. Why we are saying that, we have
Absolutely.
to nullify all these things.
Absolutely.
We have to,
Can I ask
say
Burhan
that the
another-
whole NRC process is
Burhan,
kind of
can-
No,
illegal
there is no time
exercise
for
so this
cross-questioning at this point. I'm running absolutely short of time. I'm sorry about that, Swapnil Barua. Now, Abhijit Sharma, what are your concluding thoughts?
This NRC is a process which have been done, but instead of finding out the illegal Bangladeshis, they were made Indians. Lakhs and lakhs of Bangladeshis were made Indians. So 100% re-verification is required with a
All right.
better modality.
100% re-verification with a bottle metal. 10 seconds, Sandan Sharma. 10 seconds to you to wrap up.
No, as I said, the NRC must not be rubbish or put in, in the back burner. It should be used as a document to start with, and the challenges or, rectifications can happen on the way. So it must be taken as a continuous process.
Yeah.
And therefore, whatever is necessary, whatever initiative is necessary to kickstart the process should be taken up by the government on an urgent basis.
Rupam Goswami.
No, we want a totally foreigners-free NRC. At the same time, Indians should not be left out, and government is doing very hard work in this ground, and even the people, those who are left out, government is providing legal support to them. And definitely, as Sir said very well, that government has to work very fast for putting these FTs. We are working very hard.
Okay. This is a subject that is not going to end. This is not the last that we have heard on the NRC issue. After all, it's a question of a debate of the natives versus the aliens. And I think that several interesting points come up with the panel. And of course, as Arnav said, this can be considered as a basic document on the basis of which we can move ahead. And perhaps when Abhijit Sharma says that there has to be 100% re-verification, discussion whether how we do it, what are the basic documents that we are going to accept this time, so that there are no easy forged documents can be obtained by the people. These are challenges before the authorities, but yes, the authorities, if they want, if they have the political will, perhaps they can do it. On this note, I thank all my panelists for participating in these engaging discussions and the viewers for watching the show. Good night and goodbye.
Northeast Tonight, brought to you by Oil India Limited, conquering newer horizons.